Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for tonight's Discipline Therapy podcast with your two incredible hosts, myself, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me always, seven-time published author, Mr. E.L. Discipline. And of course, we have a guest with us. He's not new to this. He's been here before, but you know how we do. Before we get into all that, we got to clear the energy. Slow down.
Oh, what?
You see that?
Oh yeah,
I got good
we
at
weren't
that.
doing that last time
No,
when he brought him up.
I don't think you had it
It's
then.
been 2 years.
Yeah. It's been a while, yo.
I can't wait to get
Sagab
into
Fett.
this. No,
Nabule, man.
Nula?
Nula,
Okay.
man.
I'm
Glad to be
here.
back.
We're here.
Mhm.
Nula.
Daco.
Mhm.
Okay.
I only know bad words, so I can't even jump on this conversation.
All right. Shout out to Center Stage Music Studio, Joe, phenomenal. Belmore, New York, Long Island. So we're not gonna read all that stuff. I figured we
Okay.
could just bounce it
All right.
from like one episode we do it, the other episode we
Works
don't.
for me.
All right, I'm excited to get into this.
Me too.
Yeah, so the topic is episode 128. Does a person's options change after a certain age? We have a special guest, Markson.
Returning guest, young Markson.
Yes. Young
Yeah.
Markson. You're still going by Young Markson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You're getting older every year.
Mm-hmm.
But why are you still keeping the young?
The reason why I wanted to keep the young is because at the time that I made my artist name, I thought about it. And I know Young Marston's kind of like contradicted because it's like you're getting older by the day. So it's like, why keep the young there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep Young Marston as of now because I knew and I was sure at the time that I made my artist name that this would have been it because I couldn't simplify it any other way easier. But I might change it to Markson something. I might. You feel me? I'm not gonna, put people's hopes high or, anywhere. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Like
You
How-
probably
as far as I
will
know.
change it.
What do you feel
I probably
though
would.
about how when people change? Because we also know another artist from the group that you were in,
Yeah.
and he changed his name, and I was I was like, what happened?
Right. You feel me? Like I would like to say with that, like
I would like to. Say
I would like to say this because this is really true. Like you grow as you go. Like you're not gonna be sure what you're gonna what you're doing and how
how you're evolving.
right
Got you.
Oh,
as you do
okay.
it. What happened?
How old are you again?
25.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Okay.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Yo, we got souvenirs from the last show. Yumiko and Emmy.
The
Yeah.
fan.
I got mine
Yeah.
Yo,
We had
the
a
tiger
Japan-
look dope.
we had two guests.
I got
Uh,
mine.
One wasn't seen. She resides in New York, but she's Japanese.
mm.
And one is actually visiting a tourist from Japan, Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
So she brought us, was Yumiko. She brought us gifts and souvenirs.
Mhm.
Got
Shout
you.
out to them. That was the
Yeah.
last show we did.
Yo.
Dope.
And she's also a published author too.
Oh yeah, it's in Japan, Japanese, right?
You could open it, Markson. I'll let you.
It's in Japanese, right? The book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
So you have to read it. I think that way. You know how we read this way, they
Mhm.
read that way.
Yeah, fire.
Yo, it's
Right?
crazy because I just peeped. They
And-
got different designs in it too. Look,
Right.
that one has the
straight.
wave, and this one has like a little squiggle
Yo,
on
I
it.
couldn't even open
And-
this. I was
What?
like when she showed me,
That's-
I was
that's
like
what's up.
this, and she was like, no.
She's like,
And
"What are you doing, sir?"
Like you spread out to the side.
Got you.
It's a
You know what
fan.
I'm saying?
It's a hand fan.
Okay. Oh, that's crazy.
Right?
So,
And it works because
yeah.
I was hot and I opened it
So
up
it's this
and
one
I fanned
here.
myself.
Here
It
you go.
folds right back too. Like
Oh, that's
And then
nice.
she said like this, I could put like ointments or certain things on it, like
Really?
a desk.
That's
like a
cool.
desk souvenir, maybe like on your dresser.
oh.
You can throw stuff on it.
Okay. I get it.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave
it's
mine
dope.
open.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into this topic.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna get into this topic based off your age and what you see. You're also Haitian.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get into all of it.
Just in case you guys didn't
No.
notice them talking in Creole and leaving me out of it, but that's okay. I forgive them.
So let me see. Someone who could have the topic is, does a person's options change after a certain age? Okay, so someone could have an array of options, but those options aren't their type. Those options now stay in a bubble or kept at arm's length. They never get full access. Do you believe this to be true or false? Like, do you disagree with this? This is a statement I believe is true,
Got you.
but do you disagree? So the guests are always going to go first, just so you're aware.
I got you. I wouldn't disagree with that. To be honest, like everybody has their choices, right? And like everybody scales it depending on how they view it. If it makes sense, like is it worth it? Do I get compensated? Like is it like a fair trade, or is one person benefiting over the other? So yeah,
So you think it's equal?
for everyone,
Yeah, men and women.
nah. I don't think. I think it's differently. Like it's different. In what sense, though? In what sense?
Okay,
Like
okay,
Yeah.
you're 25.
yeah.
Another woman who's 25.
Okay.
Now, the reality is, it's very rare, unless he's born into money,
Right.
that a 25-year-old is going to be able to provide for a family financially.
Mm-hmm.
Very rare. Very rare.
Gotcha.
Unless, like we talked about in the last show, he's born a sultan. He's born from a sultan. He's a prince. He's entitled to that. He's going to inherit that.
Born through royalty.
Or
Born
comes
through
from, or
royalty.
just
Born
comes
through
from money.
money.
Uh-huh.
So it's very rare. You're still building yourself. Hypothetical. You're
Right.
still building yourself. The woman doesn't need to do that.
Right.
Because
Right.
her value is coming from youth, fertility, and
Looks.
and beauty.
Right.
Yes, looks.
Right. Right.
So and maybe extra, some men like the nurturing aspect, serving, submission, feminine, right?
right.
So in a way, you can't bring those same qualities to a relationship.
Mhm.
And you might be able to get into a relationship if the woman is more of the provider, that she's just looking for you to serve her, spoil her. He don't have to pay anything.
Okay.
Give me
I
some
got you.
good dick.
Oh my
Got you.
God.
You
I
see
got
what
you.
I'm saying?
I get you. I get you.
That doesn't work for the woman.
Mhm.
It doesn't work for the man. That's a rare thing, that a woman will take care for a man, especially for too long.
Right.
The man is expected to provide and protect. So a 25-year-old young man like yourself, 25-year-old young lady, who has more options?
At the age,
Mm-hmm.
man, we would have more options as we go up, right?
Yes, but right now.
Oh, right
You're
now.
Right, you're right. You're right, but right now.
Like-
That's why I used your age
So
now.
my age
versus
compared to another girl's age,
age now.
as right now, she probably yeah,
Has
she probably
more
up right
options.
now. She probably up right now. Yeah,
Okay.
she probably up right now.
So,
Hmm?
and I know why he would say that answer. Does a person's someone has an array of options, and they aren't their type. Those options now stay in a bubble, kept at arm's length. They never get access. Now I'm talking of that statement is true. Do you agree with it?
I do agree with it.
Okay, so now we talk about age. Okay, so a 25-year-old woman versus a 25-year-old man. Who has more options?
Are we talking about like relationship wise or like
Yeah.
relationship wise?
relationships,
The
sex.
woman.
Sex and
The
all
woman.
that. Okay, the woman. Yes, it's true because of what I mentioned earlier. What the value of a woman is, or part of it.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And men give those women those value. Do other women give those other women that same type of merit? No, they don't. Because unless they're lesbian, unless they want to build a family with them, but even you still need man's sperm to have a child in a same sex dynamic.
Yeah.
So with the female lesbian or bisexual, yeah, she might be like, oh, look at that nice ass. Oh, she's so pretty. I would like to fuck her. But how many heterosexual women are saying that?
Yeah.
Maybe
You're
they're
right.
like, oh, she's so pretty. And that's where it stays. It doesn't go beyond. So now we're putting, who's giving women these value? Men, right or wrong?
That's right.
So automatically,
true.
the 25-year-old woman, if she has youth, beauty, she can bear children, right? We're not even talking about extra, just those three things. Not even mentioning submissive, feminine, stuff of that nature. She could get taken.
Mhm.
You see? So the 25-year-old doesn't have options. Like unless he's like very handsome,
Comes from money.
yeah, but let's exclude money.
Okay.
So he
Status?
can status. There you go,
Status.
status. So a young rapper, you know,
Oh, yeah.
a young actor. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So that, but if it's just a regular 25-year-old man, and a regular 25-year-old woman, he's not established yet. If they have a child, how are they gonna provide?
Right.
So the reality is based off I was gonna say psychology. Yeah, psychology, science and biology. The woman's always looking for the man to be that provider. A lot of women today are not really looking at men like, yo, he's so gorgeous or whatever. Because like we mentioned, status, maybe money, whatever it is. They're looking for stability.
Right.
Especially at that young age. They don't have their own. So
Mhm.
they're looking for stability. It's in their nature. She's gonna have more options because she can just easily be picked, be chosen. In
Right.
order for the man to be chosen, he has to show merit.
Mhm.
He has to
Right.
show what that woman subjectively believes is valuable. It's not like just a generic high value or valuable. What
Right.
she feels it is. Because
Right.
like I said, the woman with money might not feel, oh, I mean, I can provide for myself. That's not. Can you teach me? They teach me how to change a tire, maybe, or can you provide solutions? Can you calm me down? That's valuable. Are you a man of your word? Whoa, that's valuable.
Mm.
Now she's
Right.
looking more internally in characteristics. So with that said, like it's like the man doesn't have options because of the provider and protector aspect.
Mhm.
He might have a few, but he doesn't have an abundance. The woman does. So now let's flip it because we all three agreed on that. Now age. Let's not even go that old. Like let's take like 30 to 45.
Mm.
A woman, man 30 to 45. Who has more options?
He's gonna be the guy.
Why?
At that time, I'm pretty sure he's
his shit.
established to a certain degree,
Mhm.
right? And like with women, like your beauty fades over time, so it's like you're gonna have to compensate a certain way to kind of make up for.
You're right,
You get
but
what I'm
there are
saying? Like,
special women. Black don't crack. Latinas, maybe, Japanese, whatever it is. Special type of women who age like fine wine.
right?
They're 45,
Hello?
they look like they're 30 or
Hello?
25.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They don't need surgery. They don't do those drugs that make them look older than they should be. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Yeah, yeah.
smoke cigarettes.
I get you.
You
I
know what I'm
get
saying?
you.
So go ahead.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like those are like the top of their age bracket, if that makes sense.
Like they're
Right.
at the top tier.
At their
It's
age
not an
bracket, yeah.
abundance.
Right.
Okay.
They're at the
They're
top
the
of their age
2%.
bracket, right.
Ah.
But they're competing
Amen.
against the younger ones.
You
You see what I'm saying?
See?
Like
Um,
you're gonna compete over the girls that's like a little younger than you because they're more youthful. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? And it's like the age kind of matters over time.
Mm.
You know, like depending on
I don't know if I
on
like this topic right now.
I know.
We're gonna get your
I know.
perspective
A lot
after
of
this.
people-
I'm
a
just
lot of people
kidding.
don't like getting
I'm
into.
just joking.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, like it's an unpopular topic because like so. Man, I don't know how I'm about to explain this one, but I'm gonna say it like this.
Don't worry how they view you. I got your back.
No. It's fine. I'm just trying to say it in a way where it's like it's
Understandable.
easy. Yeah, it's easier to take in. So yeah, the opinion still stands. Like the top of the top at that age bracket, you're winning, but you're still competing because it's still a look. It's still like you're still competing for looks
Mm.
in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's like there's certain things you can do to compensate to win, but understand your option is still like
Limited.
it's still limited. It's not the same as how it used to be when you were youthful.
At your
You know what I'm
prime.
saying? Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good one. Sue.
Well, I happen to be in that 2% people, so and I also think that it depends. No, I'm going to speak subjectively. I've never competing with anybody. And I think that has to do with the confidence in myself. Like, and not always things are very surrounded by appearances and all that stuff, but you can have a gorgeous woman who doesn't have that confidence, and it'll show, compared to a woman who, maybe, she's a 7, but she has that confidence and she exudes it in every way. It's that does compensate for a lot, I think. But normally, regularly, I agree with that statement. A woman's value does lessen, not only with looks, but can she still conceive a child, have a baby?
Right.
Does she? What else can she? Yeah, and those are the two more important things.
Because, like I said earlier, it comes down to, I said it for the woman, but I'm going to say it for men too. It comes down to what you think subjectively is valuable, where you're going, what age you're in. That's why I'm trying to get your perspective, Markson.
I got you.
How you're raised, race, traditional values, not. The traditional dominant alpha male is going to eventually want to build his family.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So you know what he's going to look for.
Mhm.
Then who are just banging chicks, right? They don't care to build long term.
Mhm.
They don't care about longevity. They don't care about meaningful things, right? They're just strictly going in with pleasure.
Right.
They're gonna look at perhaps the older woman who has that nice body, got the BBL, whatever, did surgery, face, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Facial surgery. Those men are going to look at them as, okay, I could smash, could have her around for eye candy, but how many of them are going to keep her around for so long? Build.
Okay, that's small. That's yeah. That's little to done. Not too many is gonna really do that. Because you have the option to just have fun. So it's you're gonna take it for the moment, Yeah, I get you. I get you.
And there's also I've seen memes on there that say something like, it's not her beauty that's gonna raise your children. It's her
booty, right? That's how it went. I know that meme. I've seen it before. I swear I've seen it before. It ain't her beauty, it's her booty. It was that.
That was not it at all.
It's her character. It's her values.
My fault. The artist came in. I had to put a rhyme.
That was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I was like, wait, that was not the one I read.
Put a rhyme on it.
She laughs and giggle.
You're right though. It's the character.
Right.
It's the values. That's why you might see the man who is really, really good looking with the woman. Like he might be a 10, she might be an 8.
Mhm.
And then some people are like, what? It makes sense for two gorgeous people to be together.
Yeah.
But that could be toxic, and that's what we don't see behind closed doors.
The reason why I mentioned that was because you said those masculine men or alpha men. You just
Traditional alpha men.
Right?
Mhm.
What are they going? If they're traditional alpha men, is the first thing that they're going to look at? Yes, is the beauty, but are they going to be like, well, she's pretty, but how is her mind? You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's just going to be like most guys, right? Who beauty and appearance is important. They might not care where her mind's at. She just looks good. She's what's it? Eye candy, arm. Whatchamacallit?
I can't.
You know what I'm saying? But those guys who are traditional and want to build, they'll be like, she's pretty, but let's see let's see where her mind's at.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that as a person's options change, well, we know that as a person's status changes, whether it's in society, whatever, your peers, their options change as well, whether it's increase of options or decrease of options. I believe that it is not equal because of the building aspect. I don't think a lot of men care about what a woman's trying to build. You understand what I'm saying? Versus a woman does care about what a man's got. But I'm gonna prove to you. I'm gonna prove to you because I saw that facial expression. So watch this. What do you ask a woman when you go on a first date? 25-year-old girl, right now. I'm not talking about she's 35. Maybe she could be 19. That's still a good age bracket, or 20. 5 years apart, right? That's pretty good. What is the first thing you ask her?
Ooh, that's cool.
That's a good question. You feel me? What would I ask her for real? Because I know the type of person I am. Because I be lenient, but I kind of I kind of do test a little bit, like you feel me, to see like where your head's on. You feel me? So I would ask her, man, what do you technically do? Like I asked it, I had to actually ask, like, what do you do on your free time? I'm like, I kind of get deep into the surface of your life. You feel me? Like I'm like, what do you do? What's your favorite? What's your hobby? Like, so I could get an understanding of how you are. Does that make sense? Like, so I know the person that I'm talking to. Like, we see head to head with things, because I can't just, I can't.
You're
You don't want to.
man.
You don't want to word.
You're a different young man. I know you.
Feel me?
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna ask you a part 2 question. Is money the first thing that comes out of your mind? That's what I was trying to prove.
No, that's not for men. We don't look at it like, okay,
even at your
what
age,
money you got.
Even at your age,
Right.
That's what I wanted to prove.
I got you.
But do you think the 25-year-old is gonna want to know what you do?
Wait, that's not you're leading.
When you flip it, when she asks me, she's gonna want to. She usually gonna.
Is that the
saying?
first? No, 100%. But don't lead. Is it?
Don't lead.
Don't Don't lead the question. Don't make him. You know,
allow me to. Yeah,
right.
Go
So
through it.
I would have asked. That same girl. What questions does she ask you? Like, what's one of the top 5 questions that
she would ask me? She would ask me kind of similar, like, but she would soon present that. If that makes sense.
Can you really say that? We're speaking hypothetical. Can you really say that right now? Because you might have a specific type of woman you're picking to date. You understand? We live in America.
Right.
We're not going to meet all the same.
Okay, so the majority.
Okay, so the majority will say that?
The majority would go to the point. They'll get to the point more like subliminally, if it makes sense.
Okay.
Like it'll be like rising questions. It'll rise each level they ask.
Getting to that.
They'll get more personal with you. You see what I'm saying? They're like, oh, what do you do? What you about? Then it'll come to, so what do you feel me? Like what job? Yeah. Then it starts to get to the money aspect. And I guess it's more or less of security that they're looking for when they do that. Like they want to know if they could be secure under your arms. See what I'm saying? Are you a good provider? Right? So as a man, that's what you gotta be. That's what you gotta know, that this is what you have to do as a man to get around and, be valuable. If that makes sense.
How does that make you feel?
Well, for me, it's like you have something to work up to.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. Some people look at it like, mad people, mad guys, I understand, like they have different ways of doing things. I promise you, bro. And I heard a lot of stories of how they did this, and the third. And I'm like, I can't speak for y'all. That's y'all. You feel me? But for me, this is what I do.
Are your parents still together?
My mom and dad, yeah, they split.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like I had to learn to be a man by myself doing that one. Yeah. You feel me?
Okay, yeah.
And
properly, if that makes sense.
Look at the man that you're turning into.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
what was the question?
Okay. So, the status, we know that it with their status, their options change.
Right.
So we're looking at it as with men and women, right? When we are asking each other, like it's the first date, he's 25, he's meeting a 25-year-old. Now we look at, you're an older woman, you're dating today, maybe in a guy your age bracket, younger. Are the questions still similar? So you're established right now, Sue. You make your own money. Right. Do you think your questions are going to be the same as the 25-year-old questions? No, okay, that's what I'm trying to do.
There we go. We got to the point. I'm slow, people. Yeah. Come on.
So the reality is, and this is my perspective, I don't want to make this seem like it's correct. The reality is, I can't say the reality is. My opinion,
right, I got you.
My opinion is that the younger woman doesn't have anything. She has a scarcity mindset, not an abundance one. She hasn't gotten to where she needs to go. Maybe still going to school, still living at home, right? Doesn't really have her own money, maybe an allowance. Right? So she's going to ask you, it might be the first question or the second one, but it's definitely going to be there.
Right.
What do you do for a living? She might be bold enough. How dare she? But she might be bold enough to say, how much do you make?
Yeah.
Versus the man. Because like you said, she's worried about stability. I'm trying to leave my parents eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do this. I want to know if I could trust in everything. He's reliable. Where are we going to live? This and that.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So the woman who is older that's going out there to date, let's say mid 30s, 35, let's say 30 years old, let's say 40, 45. If she's established, right? Went to school, got degrees, whatever, makes her own money, she's not going into that dynamic of asking that to be the first question. It might eventually go in there, but I bet you it's top 5 and it's the bottom 5
of the bucket list.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's not the first thing she's asking. Why? Well, it's easy. I'll answer it for you guys.
I was going to answer it too.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say she doesn't want to seem like a gold digger.
No.
Nah,
Dang,
nah,
that wasn't it.
nah,
The main
she
reason-
she got what she looked for. You feel me? She got it herself. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what I was looking for.
she was looking for a guy to do
That
it
was
at
a
the time.
setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I set him up.
Alley-oop.
Exactly.
So-
got you.
You're
so-
welcome.
So the thing is, and I've constantly saw memes out there was, yo, I could finance myself.
Mhm.
What else can you bring? I
Mhm.
could do this. I could do that. Can you stroke my mind now? You think the 25-year-old is thinking first thing, stroke my mind?
Nah.
Like I said, she might be a special 25-year-old. The sapiosexual might be on the list. You know what a sapiosexual is?
Is one partner desire of one partner?
No,
Or-
it's when somebody's attracted to intelligence.
got
And that's
you.
how
Got
they
you.
build their
Got you.
emotion and love language.
Got you.
For you to maybe even get the cheats.
Got you. Got you. Mentality for
Mhm.
me.
Can I ask you, do you normally date within your age range, or have you dated older or younger? And if so, go
It's
ahead.
like mixed. You feel me?
Like
I
just
dated
a
people
couple
a
of
little younger and then
a
little
little,
old,
but
yeah.
not like
it
a
doesn't.
big
The gap
difference.
doesn't. Yeah, the
It
gap's
doesn't get
not
there,
OD
okay.
OD. Yeah.
And so the chicks that you meet, do they tend to like think along the same lines, or not really? Like they're pretty much
Some of
like,
them.
how is it?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them we just don't see eye to eye, or we just fall off.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel
No,
me?
that totally makes
Because
sense.
his mentality is different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna continue to say, but I wanted to let you say what you were gonna say, Sue.
Thank you.
The stability, right, is still there no matter what age the woman is. But guess what? It now becomes subjective. It's not the same thing. The 45-year-old woman doesn't think stability as the 25.
Mm.
She's looking at stability. Well, you don't need to finance me. I'll make my own money. She's looking at stability of, can you stroke my mind? Can you
Right.
be reliable if I need you? Are you a man of your word?
Right.
Are you this? Are you that? Maybe can you give me sex satisfying? I have a high sex drive.
Mhm.
Her stability aspect, right, is different now. The younger woman is not even thinking about a lot of those things, especially if she's traditional. She's thinking on top of the list. Can you provide for a family?
Mhm.
Hmm.
You know, can you do it now? Maybe not now, but where are you going? See, a
Right,
woman
right.
cares about a man's
The
future.
direction. The direction.
Yes,
Right.
women in general
Mhm.
care about a man's future. A man cares about her past. He doesn't really care about her future, especially if he wants to be the provider. He's like, yo, she gonna help me with my shit. She gonna get on my program.
Mhm.
She my television shows, what I like, when I want the food to be on the table. She gonna get on my program.
Yeah.
So he's
Mhm.
thinking in that aspect. The women is not. Now they all both have stability. It's just it's different for them. So does it really change? Their options definitely change, and what they desire now.
Right. Changes at the same time
Hmm.
because
Maybe
they.
that's why their options change, because their mindset changed. Yeah, look at us.
Mhm. The
Now-
priority.
Now we're gonna get a little personal.
Oh Lord.
Mhm.
Does a person's relationship and sexual relationship type changes as well as they get older?
Mm. Run that question one more time. One
So,
more time. Yeah.
Does a person's relationship and sexual relationship type changes as well?
Mm.
So if you like a specific type of
Okay.
relationship, because there's only two out there,
Got you.
it's modern or traditional,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So also sexual relationship, because that's also different.
Mm-hmm.
You might want the gentleman, but the beast, you might,
Right,
bedroom aspect,
Mm-hmm.
outside bedroom, lady in the street, freak in the sheet,
Right. Right.
right? So now the relationship aspect is, it's like, if I'm gonna make it even real subjective,
Mhm.
the gender of the male. If that man is saying, yo, I'm always gonna marry the good girl, but let me keep playing with the hoes until I get there.
Mm-hmm.
You see? His sexual preference and relationship type changes, and his also his relationship. They're not the same type of woman.
Right.
But he's
Hold
doing
on.
that on purpose.
Hold
though.
on, let me let him answer.
Mhm.
Do you think that changes?
For most niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough,
You
right?
telling me if he's saying, yo, I wanna, get around, get right with girls, but I wanna make sure in the process of that I get to the girl that I want, the wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, yeah, I'm pretty sure, guys, we're gonna be committed to it. But it's like I've seen some fall. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've definitely seen. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
What do you mean some fall?
I've still seen some guys fall off it. Like, you feel me? Like,
That's what
they
they're going
cheat.
for, but they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna stick with the hose.
No. He wants his fun.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's
Ah.
some guys that get lost in that sauce for a minute. Like, they
can't stop
say
it.
they're gonna do that at the end, but they still gonna keep going for a while because it's like,
They're like
it has a
addicted to
hold.
it.
It has a hold. Like,
Yeah.
at some point you have to understand how to control your lust, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like it really is a mental thing that you have to, like,
Definitely.
I don't know how to explain that. Like, because
You have to be more-
it's harder
You have
on
to
us
adapt-
guys than it
You have to
is.
adapt that type of mentality.
Right.
Or be more disciplined with
Mhm.
it.
Exactly.
So
What I was gonna say is a guy. Okay, so you said a guy says, "I wanna." My ultimate goal is to be with a good girl, but I'm gonna fuck around with the hoes. For now.
Yeah, for the most part.
Right.
Most
Is
of
it-
us
But
guys
that's
on
done
that
on
time.
purpose.
does
Yeah.
it change?
Right. I think it does change, but in that particular case, he's changing it on purpose. I think a lot of times it changes whether you want to or not. Just I'm speaking more for the women.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
men, like you guys say, you guys get older, you get better. You know what I'm saying? Your value gets higher while a woman's gets lower. So a man might think like that and be like, that's my end goal, but I'm gonna fuck around. A woman, her end goal might be that, and she's, it changes without her even wanting that change. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because she's no longer valued for her looks. Like you said, we're competing with let me rephrase that.
Mhm.
Yeah, other chicks is competing, with the younger ones.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that is not, I don't think, in a woman's control.
Got you.
Wow, where'd that come from? Ew.
Yeah.
Mic
I
drop.
got
Yeah.
Ew.
You're right.
I got you. Mhm.
You're right. Because there's not a lot of men that are gonna be like, "Oh, I love your character. That's why I'm in
Nah.
love with you.
Exactly.
I love
Nah.
that you have maternal instincts. I love that you're submissive. I love that you're smart."
Mm.
You understand? Not a lot of men are gonna
Mhm. Yeah, they
Right.
don't care.
compliment in that aspect. So the operative word is status. So the thing is, sometimes a guy, I believe it changes for a lot of people. Not all of them, but for a lot of people. Why? Because I believe that when that man was probably down, there were definitely some type of chicks that he felt like he could pull and was attracted to him. Now that he's up, he feel like, well, I want the gorgeous hoes now.
Because now you up.
Now you up.
Now you up. Yeah.
And those are also what's gravitating towards you.
Mm.
See,
that is true.
it takes a special individual for their relationships and their sexual relationships to not change based off where they're going. It takes a special individual. Why? Because it still comes down to that person's character, men and women,
Mhm.
that person's values
Right.
and their
Mhm.
code for themselves. That's the difference. That's why it stays consistent.
Mm.
So if I talk about on the show like, yo, you ain't never gonna see me with hoes, because hoes are liabilities. They're not assets. I could be out there in public and she got nothing to lose. Why would I fuck with a woman who has nothing to lose?
Mhm.
I'm not doing that. And then now I'm up and you start seeing me fucking with women that can make me lose it all.
Mm.
Giving me stress versus peace.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
now I'm over here like, yo, like my shit changed, because why did my shit change? Why did my relationship change and tight? Why? Do you know? I'll tell you.
Because you grinded your way upwards. Forward.
No. Well,
Not-
you did. Yes, you did that.
Mhm.
But it's the operative thing. It's what's internal.
Mhm.
You could give me riches today or tomorrow. They can't take real from me. That's what I mean.
I get you.
That's what I mean.
I get you. It's not something that you could, yeah.
That's why a lot of guys,
you.
they end up getting the money. You're a bigger bozo because you were the bozo before you had it, before you had the status. That's what I mean. When you have your own personal boundaries and you're stubborn with these standards and you're like, no, I'm not going to do that for personal reasons. I don't care if nobody's going to see. When I look at myself in the mirror, that means prestigious.
Like you have your morals are what's important. What's driving you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep,
I stumped you?
No. I was gonna add on to it. I was gonna add on to it. In a way, don't we feel like we're prideful for that kind of rule that we have, like as men, because you know what it comes with. Like like you can't bend those rules for certain people. You know that, like you feel me. And there's certain people you can tell you're gonna have to say no to and walk away from, and that like some guys, that's gonna be the hardest thing for some people because they don't have that. They don't have that self-control to that degree, like to just be like, yeah, nah, it is not gonna, I have no business keep going like past this. That's it. Yeah. It's gonna be here with it.
So for me personally, those were good answers. For me personally, even with the BDSM sexual aspect, when I get with women and they're modern and they said they never lived the lifestyle before, I already know submission is in women. Just it takes the right person. They got to get back into their nature because that's feminine energy.
Right.
So I know that, yeah, even though they never lived the lifestyle, they could adjust better than men. Especially if a man is introducing you to it, because it's in a woman's nature to follow. It doesn't work if she's introducing it to a man and expecting him to be dominant and to teach him to be dominant. That's slowly almost crazy. Like, why would I teach the lion how to be a lion? What? How does that happen? Would you think that was crazy? Like, how do I know how to do that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, in a way, like, my sexual relationship and my relationship are never going to change. I'm in my mid-30s. I could be 50. It's still going to be the same. If it changes at 50, guess what? It was fake the whole time.
Right.
You don't think people can change? Like,
no, they don't. That's why I say it comes.
Morals you're talking about.
It's part of your morals. It's part of your identity.
Yeah.
If it's like he said, he saw a lot of dudes that fell. Why? You see, because at the end of the day, when you don't stand by something, you fall for anything.
Right.
That's why.
Good point.
You see what I'm saying? So if it's really about their, don't matter, money, status, whatever, it won't change. If you like the good girls when you were 25, when you get 30, 35, 40, you're still going to like them. You might adapt a little bit more master quality so you can actually train what you want.
Right.
Because she's worth it. Versus, yo, let me get involved with the troublemakers, the instigators, the trouble starters, even with their mouth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Get you in situations, right.
Usually when a woman elevates in life, and like I said, I'm not picking on the women, it's just what I hear. Usually when a woman elevates in life and status and finances, they usually say, I want a man on my level. I put in parentheses, equal. That's what that means. Because a lot of women are subliminal. They speak subliminally. Not all of them, but most of them speak subliminally. They won't say things straight up. On my level or higher. Most women that get to this status financially, whatever it is, in society, desirable, they will say this. When men elevate in finances and status, they don't have to say it. Usually men date down, not equal. Do y'all agree about the last statement? And why do women say they want a guy to be on their level and higher? So it's two-part.
Okay, so why do a girl want to date a man that's higher
on her level when she reaches this pinnacle?
Usually it's usually because like she's looking for a superior. Usually it's always that way. Like she looks at men as her better.
So
like her better, like for instance, most girls are gonna be like the standard or average like requirements. They're gonna say, I need a guy that's 6 foot. We all heard this before. Like this is nothing new. He's 6 foot, 6 figures. And then when you look at her history, like you said earlier, it's about the history. You would ask, who was your ex? He was what it was not qualified. Like what you qualified is at 6 foot. He was 5 something.
Mm-hmm.
How much money he made?
Right.
He was. So now you're gonna tell me you're gonna gatekeep me
Right, to a different standard.
after him, and then you're gonna let him get a pass
Slide,
and
yep.
slide, but I had to be the one to come correct with you.
Mm.
So now
Wow.
me knowing that history already said, so he got free. I want to be
Access.
free too.
Okay.
You feel me? Like
Mhm.
you let these guys go.
Right.
What's
Why
one
you
more
holding me to
person?
a different
You
standard?
feel me?
Right.
So my rebuttal was the same level, right?
Right.
Or higher.
Mhm.
But if they just specifically say on my level, that's not superior.
It's
Why
the
do
equal.
why do they want that? Why do they want equality?
Is it? It's. It might be power.
Mm.
It might be power, bro.
Okay.
Most likely.
Sue.
It might.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
think-
I'm sorry.
Oh, he has to answer the second part.
Second part.
Okay.
Do you think men date down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's not a problem for us. Like we don't look at girls the same way girls look at us guys.
Okay.
We don't look at you like, okay, you have to measure, be my equal, da.
Right. You guys
It's
don't
not
have
gonna
that
work. We're gonna
checklist.
clash.
Mm.
We're gonna clash more often because you're gonna have more things to use against me, like as fire. You know, like
Okay.
oh, you're no better than me. Da. Yeah, when shit hits the fan, it always goes that way. Like the worst get drawn out, the bad side of you gets drawn out, and it comes to a point where it gets personal. Like, and it's like guys don't like to deal with that. Like,
Yo,
you know,
I got that mean mug because you touching my soul right now.
you know, like it does
Like,
that. Like,
That's true.
that's true.
and it's one of those situations. It's like if it gets too deep or it gets too personal so many times, guys have like we have this feeling of like, okay, we're surviving in a relationship. We feel like we're supposed to be at peace with. We're surviving against you now. Like you're our own partner, and I'm
Right.
fighting against my own person
Yeah.
that I'm supposed to be in this world with.
That she's
and
supposed
go
to bring
through.
you peace.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not
Mhm.
even at peace in my own comfort.
Mm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I found you for that. Like, you know, the comfort and the vibe with it. So yeah,
Wow.
Those are good answers.
Wow.
that's
yeah.
why
I'm impressed.
it'll come off resistant, and you know, it'll get spiteful and
Yeah, it'll get
grudgeful for
spiteful.
some people like that come out of it. You know?
Sure. So why do women say this? This is a subconscious thing. I don't say a percentage. Now I generalize. All women say this when they reach to this status. Why do they say this? Why isn't it just something instinctively, like other countries in the last show we were talking about? Like they instinctively do things. They instinctively accept gender roles. Why do women say this when they reach their pinnacle?
Not all women say that, but
You've never
I
said
think
that?
I want a man on my level or higher.
Mhm.
No,
Did you ever think it?
no,
Okay. So
because
you
I
wouldn't mind-
personally don't look at that.
Okay, so you wouldn't mind having a man lower than you.
I've
Whatever
had a man lower
capacity.
than me. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I've never been that way because I'm a boba. But anyway, I think when they say I want a man on my level or higher, I feel like it's because they don't want to have to. I don't know how to like raise him. Like I don't want to have to take care of you like that. I want us to be, you know, if I got me, then you should be able to have you, and then we can come together. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
got
Why
you,
do
I
they
got
think
you.
like that?
Because when they're up to, I mean, when they get to that level, I'm assuming they've had those, you know, bottom tier men or somebody beneath them, and it didn't work out. Maybe she has that drive and she pushed herself up, and she's seeing the guy still staying where he's at, not wanting to better himself. You know what I'm saying? That too can cause resentment and stress. Like that conversation could be like, if I'm busting my ass to better myself so that we can be better, why aren't you?
Okay. I can
That's-
see.
Oh,
I can see.
and then the
I can see
second
that.
part, when a man elevates, they don't do. Usually, men don't. I agree with that.
Men
I
date
agree for
lower.
the whole everything that you just said. Men don't care how much it is because at the end of the day, they feel that they're the providers.
And I love that when I asked you the second why, it was brought out because that's what I was thinking. So you answered that. The reason why a lot of women will say this, I believe women in general say this. You know, we've established you're in the 2% or something, a very low percentage of women.
Right.
Sure.
But the reason why they say this, and they say this subconsciously, is because it really depends on what she went through to get there. That's what
Yeah.
it depends. Because if you listen,
know
bro,
exactly
I'm gonna
what you're
speak some
saying.
real shit, and you could agree or disagree.
Go ahead.
If you a scammer
Mhm.
and you just make money like that, scamming and whatever, it's coming to you free.
Right.
Like the difference of you taking somebody and spending money on them, does that become something you make them earn, or is just like, here's I'm Oprah, everybody gets a free car.
It's gonna hit the Oprah. It's gonna
You're
hit
gonna be the Oprah, right?
It's gonna hit the Oprah
because it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you worked on yourself, and I know what you're doing, you getting there.
Right.
If you worked on yourself, when you choose somebody, are you gonna make them earn that? Are you gonna see things to be like let me vet properly because I want to invest in them, or are you gonna be like the other guy?
No, it's definitely gonna be different.
Why?
Because you see how hard you had to do that.
That's what it
Like,
comes
you feel
down
me?
to. Women don't elevate that high in status and finances unless they incorporated something. What? Extreme masculine energy. And they adopt a lot of these masculine traits to get there. So they know it's hard. It's probably even harder. I created a fictional character, Sophia. She has multiple salons, but she's a stockbroker in the Wall Street. It's predominantly dominated by men. So she's probably getting treated unfairly. That. She had to go through shit already to get to that. I'm the best around in the state or whatever it is. So when she meets a guy, that's why she instinctively says that. I want a guy on my level or higher, because she realizes what she had to go through to get there. That's what I believe that it is. It's very rare. A lot of women will want to take care of, motivate the guy beneath them. Like if she's the manager, it's like, come on, baby, you've been the cashier for so long. Like, why don't you get in this? I'll help you with your resume. She's gonna want that because it's a woman's mentality is always thinking like building, collaborative. Whereas the men is thinking more of, I want to be the man. I want to provide and protect you. Women don't think like that. They think of more of the collaboration. Like, let's do this together. Let's da-da-da-da-da. That's us. That's ours.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
For her, like telling him, I'll make your resume,
No, let me tell you what's wrong with that.
Jeez.
What were you going to say? It's nothing wrong?
Jeez.
Let me tell you
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
If I could finish my
Okay,
sentence.
say it.
Okay. Her saying that, isn't that like motivating?
No. That's what I'm going to get to. At the end of the day, the man should already see, I got a woman and I want to build with her, and that should be his motivation alone to want to do that.
Right. So
if the woman is motivating him, be a man, be dominant, be this, why won't you get a job? He's just going to do it to shut her up. He's just going to do it to keep getting vagina. He's just going to do it to whatever it is. He's not doing it for himself. He needs to do it for himself. And and the fact that she's pregnant with my child, or I'm just throwing hypotheticals, or I want to build with her, that should be the catalyst for me to do that and get to that level. But when he has a woman already like doing all that, he'll just let her do it because she's already approaching with that. Okay, I mean, she don't really need me.
So do you think it's wrong for a woman to
Yes,
say
it
that?
is because of
Let
authority.
Let me finish. Do you think it's wrong for a woman to want a man on her level or higher?
Yes.
It's wrong?
No. I'm sorry. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. Because of due to hypergamy. It's in a woman's nature to want a man higher.
Besides it being in her nature.
To want a man higher, not on the same level.
Right. I'm not talking about that. I want to know like both of you's opinion on that. Is it wrong for a woman based on what you guys were just saying that the guy, doesn't want to and or whatever, is it wrong for her to then say, if I got to this level, I want a man on my level or higher, not beneath me because I tried that.
Nah, look, there's nothing wrong with her making that desire, but there's side effects for it, depending on her situation or depending on where she's at in the world. Like her age, like we said earlier, her age, depending on it, it could go either or. Like you go luck up and find a man and then have your superior, have your man that's like your better, right? But it's really more of the chances of that. Does that make sense? Like you could get that, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like a walk in the park to get that.
Right.
It's not going to. Like, for me, and I get what you were saying earlier, like, like for you to make it work with a guy that you have to ask to be a man, like he could do it, right? But you don't get turned off when you have to tell him instead of him becoming that.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna work. Like it can like happen, but it's not gonna really work. You're gonna get hit with some side effects of that.
Right,
Like
tooth and nail
for me,
type
like
thing.
like for instance, like let's say you're getting robbed, right? You're getting robbed, or somebody just ran by you, robbed, took your purse. Which would you prefer? Would you look at the man and say, "What do we do?" Like he looks at you and tell us, "What do we do?" Or you want him to be on go. He's on his ass.
Right.
He's not playing. He's on his ass.
Yeah,
to get your purse. Boom, got it back. Boom, that's a man for you, right? That's the
100%.
type of desire you would want, instead of the response of, "Babe, what do we do?"
Because it's instinctive.
No,
It's
yeah.
going back to our nature.
It's the nature, yeah. It's
The thing is,
male and female
the,
nature.
the thing is, this isn't a problem. The problem is the on my level. That's fictitious. That a lot of women don't mean that. They really mean higher.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of women. Now, when a woman gets to that level, right? She's thinking she wants to build with that guy. So she's like, I want a guy on my level or higher. Because at the end of the day, it still comes down to her nature of wanting to be provided for. You know? So for her to be like, okay, I'm the manager. I want him to be the manager too. Because even though we came and I'm making more money than him, I would prefer him to make more money than me, because then I'm going to feel like a woman. I would want him to make decisions, because then I would feel like a woman. I want him to take initiation in bedroom, pertaining to sex, because then it would make me feel like a woman. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
So at the end of the day, they say this because, like I said, a lot of women speak subliminally, throwing subliminal messages out. They're pretty much saying, we want to be like women. The most alpha dominant chick who's rich, status, whatever, maybe not even rich, she's the one that's going through it the most. She's crying. She's crying
behind closed doors.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's crying inside because it comes a lot from them. You don't hear feminine women saying this. What feminine submissive women you heard saying this if you know them? I know a lot of them. You don't hear them say this because they already know.
They're good.
It's like the other countries. Instinctively, we know gender roles. We don't have to say it. The woman is going to enter that dynamic, strong, independent. I don't need you. Are you on my level? Boom, boom, boom. Because of that aspect, she's hurting more. She's hurting more because the more she's elevating to that status, which I said it a lot, 2 shows prior, she knows her options are like slim,
limited,
very limited. So now when she's like, "Oh, I want a man on my level or higher," she's pretty much saying, "I want to be a woman. I want to enter this dynamic." Like I already had to be a man to get to this level.
Right.
But when I have a man, and why would I still want to do man things? Why would I still want to be a man?
That's
right.
true.
She basically saying, I already climbed up. I'm the best of the best, but I need somebody that I can be under.
Yeah.
I'm looking for someone
Second
to be
in command.
under. But it's like,
She don't
you're
wanna be the
top
boss.
2, shorty. Like you top 2. You got to find that top 1. It's going to be hard for you. You made it harder like that. That's why men can date. And then,
Down.
you feel me? Girls have to date.
Because
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could always date
It works.
a woman younger than me who doesn't have as much, who needs me for security, because I pride myself in being needed.
Right.
I pride myself in being a man.
Right.
So I could always do that. I could take them, turn them out, whatever, follow my program, and they will, because I pride myself in those aspects.
Right.
But women do not. Women do not. They're not going to say, listen, I'll take any man and train him to be a man. I'll take the dude, and I'll help build him up. You hear all the time women will lie online and in person when they go on podcasts. I mean, if the bedroom wasn't that up to par, would you teach them? We can make it work. They're lying.
When they had to say it like that, it doesn't.
It's a lie.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it's not gonna work like that. If she has to hit the I mean or
I mean-
yeah, but it will always hit like yeah, but or I mean and it's like you're compensating, shorty. Like you're trying to make it sound like it works, but it definitely sounds like it's a struggle, and it doesn't sound confident on how you have to display that to people that you have to tell that to.
And also, it's embarrassing.
Because a lot of women like to boost their men up, family, friends, and stuff of that nature. They definitely
want the best man.
They
Like
talk
my
about
man doesn't
you.
do. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, for example, I could never be a sneaky link. A woman's gonna want to tell somebody about me.
I hear you.
You
I
know,
get
you
you. You feel
understand what I'm
me?
saying? Do
Because
you
that's how
think?
you moving, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think a man can be happy with an average woman? Will a woman also be satisfied, happy, and desire an average man? So, do you think a man can be satisfied, happy, desire, uh, be happy with, desire a average woman? And can you think women will be satisfied, happy, and you know, like desire average man?
Okay, I'll answer that. I'll answer that by telling you how I think about it, how I view that question. Could a guy look at an average girl and say, "Yeah, I can make that work with her"? Yeah,
Mhm.
most likely, yeah. Because guys, we know how to be content with what we have most of the time. And it's not to say girls don't feel contempt. It's not to say that. It's not to say that. It's to say that like girls, you have this. For me, girls, you have this drive to want more. You see what I'm saying? You do have this drive to want more. Like if he's a man already, you're gonna want to see him become better. That's what most girls do. You strive for the man that you have to want like to be better because you want better for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But usually, for me, it comes with this thinking that like, okay, he's this. How do I change this to better and better and better? You see what I'm saying? It's like, how do I upgrade what's already there? You see what I'm saying? With guys, we're like, this is what she is. This is how I know her to be, and I know like we could work certain things, but I know this is her. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is her. Like, this what I gotta. You feel me? I gotta work like with that and try to improve. However, whether she's willing, you see what I'm saying? He looks at her like, whenever you want to step, we could step. That's on your speed, kind of. With girls, it's like, I want you to be this, and it's up to him whether he wants to allow it or let that go and then lose the relationship. You feel me? Because like it'll fall off at some point and flip and hit the head, you know? So that's how I look at it. Like, I'm not saying she can do it. You feel me? Like I said earlier, it's always the nature will hit. It will hit like,
Now, do you think that
nigga's
this
not,
is
you
this
know?
is this is? Are you basing it off of the women in your age range, or do you think that this is
For me,
women across the board,
I'm
like
mixing it.
at any age?
I'm mixing it with my experience and as well as what majority been doing like so far.
that
Right.
women that you've known,
Yeah.
and that are okay. I got you. All right.
So what do you think?
I think a man can definitely be happy with an average woman, although if I'm gonna just rebuttal what you said, if a man is truly content, then why do they cheat? But I know you have
Okay.
something
I
different.
got
over there,
you for
Mr.
that. I got
Discipline.
you. I got
Oh,
you.
wait. Let me just finish the answer. I do think that a man can be happy with an average woman. And I think that a woman can be happy and satisfied. She may not desire an average man, but she might not when she gets to know him, she might not know that he's average. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
There
right.
might be something about him, maybe his character or how he presents himself, that she will be drawn to.
Right.
And depending on what her definition of being treated well, I think that she can be happy with them. Now, will she go out and look for the average guy? Probably not. In her mind, she's gonna want something better. But like I said, when you meet somebody, and maybe that aspect is withheld, and she's going off of vibe and how she feels, she might be happy. Maybe not desire an average man, but I definitely think she can be.
I got you.
So the cheating aspect, and then first let me answer this.
I knew it.
Let me answer this. Can he be happy with an average woman, satisfied and desire an average woman? Yes, he can. Provider aspect. How men view women.
Shoot.
What happened?
No. I was just gonna look at my phone. I was gonna look at average man and then average woman. Like, what's the percentage of that?
Because average can be subjective,
right?
Right. So the woman who is let me say this is average. She doesn't have status. She doesn't have a lot of followers on social media. Barely on social media. Has a regular job. Maybe lives at home. People might consider her boring. She's a homebody. She's not really doing extravagant stuff. Never been around the world. All over the place. Good girl type. Maybe traditional. Doesn't have lashes. Doesn't wear excessive makeup. Right. Average.
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So she could be average looking, she could be average thinking, she could have average energy.
Right.
The man, on the other hand, I believe, no, the woman, on the other hand, I believe won't be happy, satisfied, or desire an average man because it comes down to the superiority aspect. See, average, when you're looking at something as average, right? You're looking at it as if we're not on the same level.
Mm.
When you're looking at something above average, you're looking at it as like that's a different level,
Mm-hmm.
even perhaps over mine. So
Right.
that's why the woman feels like she will be she will be satisfied and happy to desire that man who isn't average, because in order for him to keep her happy, satisfy her, and for her to desire him, see, it goes all the way back to full circle, he needs to not be average.
Right.
Because average men can't do that for women.
Okay.
You have to be extraordinary.
But can an average man be superior to an average woman?
No, he's not average then.
No, she's
He's
saying like, could the average man be like better than her in certain things? Like,
Then they're not average. It's not equal. It's not an average man, average
me?
woman, and then he's superior. That's equal.
But there's no. But there's, first of all, men and women, they're not equal.
Mhm.
So a man's average, wouldn't that be superior to a woman's average?
What would be a man's average?
I
now
guess
we gotta look. We gotta look that
Well, I
up
don't
on
know.
that part.
I was just-
Subjectively, what would it
For
be?
me-
What would be a man's average?
Okay, well, like you said, maybe not as many followers as somebody else,
Mhm.
or blue collar workers, like a regular job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, something like that, 9 to 5 type of guy. I don't know, like things like that.
And she's average.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Most of the times when you're that kind of guy, that average guy, you get shitted on. I'm not lying. I've seen conversations.
He
This
said,
is real
"I
life.
am not
This is
lying."
real life.
Okay.
I'm not lying. I done seen niggas who were just decent guys, bro. Like they
Aw.
decent, just regular cool dudes, right? They live regular. But when I hear how she talks about him when he's not there, she's like, what would I look like trying to date a nigga like you feel me? She down talks him like
Wow.
it's like I'm like,
You see?
Okay,
Well,
I'm just
she-
asking,
it
but that's
wouldn't
why I'm
work.
asking
It
the
wouldn't work.
question.
She wouldn't look at him the same way.
You
Like
see,
she
he-
looks down on him like you underneath me. You see what I'm saying? You might you feel me lesser. Like
He brought it out. So the reality is this: if the woman is average and the man is average, in her mind, that is equal.
Mm.
If he looks at her as equal, it is
Mhm.
the same thing. In order for a man to hold a woman accountable, he has to be extraordinary.
Mhm.
He has to not what's the word I was gonna say? He has to
Stand out.
no, he has to like not be average. He has to be superior.
Mm.
That's what I'm looking for.
Mhm.
Because men that don't hold their women accountable don't feel like they're superior. And that's just a
Mm.
fact.
Okay.
So, if a person's age changes or plays a major fact pertaining to their options, who settles more? Because as the man elevates, his options are going to change. He might say, remember we how we started this, those girls, I wasn't able to pull them. I was just getting whatever I could get
Mm.
because of my status, where I am, blah, 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 my mentality, my energy.
Mhm.
The moment he reaches that and if everything changes, his women that he's even gravitating,
His
that's
pull.
gravitating towards him,
Mhm.
changes.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so if he's a heterosexual man, and I'm going to get to the cheating part,
Mhm.
he's going to connect. He's a heterosexual man. He's going to connect, even if he has that good girl wife,
Mhm.
because he wasn't able to pull him. So maybe that's why he was faithful.
Right.
So the moment
Okay.
they're being thrown at him, it's being thrown at him. He builds a conversation, even doesn't have to be sex. He's building
Mhm.
emotion, having emotional conversations. You see?
Mhm. That's how the energy transfers. Like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but a woman is different. The moment she loves the man, he's providing everything, satisfying me, sex even. She don't see eyes for another man. Her DMs could be stacked. No, a man on the other hand a pastor, reverend will even do it. And if you Google who are the most faithful men, they're on the list. They're on top of the list. So if they will falter anything, your man, Sorry, girls. Your man is what would they say for that? He ain't got no chance. He don't stand no chance. You see what I'm saying? So that's why if they're still content, they will still cheat. The masculine is not built to be comfortable. That's what I wrote down. He's a conqueror by nature, so his status changes. He's not gonna want to be like, oh, I'm content and not moving, not doing anything. The woman, on the other hand, the moment she gets comfort, stability, whatever, she can relax. Because that's how the feminine is going to thrive, under the comfort. So the man is always hunting. Always. If you see a woman hunting constantly, that's weird. Why is she doing that?
I get what you. Yeah.
It's
I get what
so
you're saying.
off.
It's abnormal. It's abnormal to
Yes.
see that. Like, okay. I get.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if a person's age changes and plays a major factor in pertaining to their options, who settles more, men or women?
Son.
He says, son. Let me tell you.
A man gets older. We said this earlier. A man gets older. A woman gets older. Who settles more?
Woman's gonna settle more.
Sue.
Yep. Woman.
Okay. So do you any of y'all want to elaborate why?
I mean, we said it before. Everything about her diminishes. Her value diminishes. Her looks diminishes. Her ability to have children diminishes. So her status in life is diminishing.
Let me piggyback off that.
Okay.
Watch this. The thing that doesn't diminish is how she fixes herself, because we still have the sexual marketplace, huh?
What do you mean fixes herself?
We have the dating marketplace and we have the sexual marketplace. So maybe,
different things,
maybe in the dating marketplace, her options are very low. Long-term relationships, maybe lives a different lifestyle. Her options are low or non-existent. I ain't into them. I don't care if they're in my DM. I ain't into them, so they're not options. I don't see them. However, there's a lot of men that want to have sex with her because of how she looks. So she could be 45. She could be 50. She gets surgery and stuff of that nature. Yeah, she'll get fucked.
But she won't get
She'll
wifed.
get played with, but she won't get wifed. You see what I'm saying? Take a special type of man to be like, yo, I want to build with her in her age. The way her age is. I want to build with her. I could see other things. So I could still keep her around long term because she's bringing so many other qualities to the table. So he overlooks the age. Not a lot of men. So part of a woman's value is her youth. Yep. When we talk about the dating and relationship aspect, and when we talk about the sexual. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the end of the day, who settles more? The woman. Because at the end of the day, damn, especially if I live a different lifestyle, if all these dudes that I talk to meet in the supermarket, next to me, work, whatever, wherever people meet people, right? The gym. If none of them have this status, they don't know what these terms mean, lifestyle, whatever, kinks, fetishes, because we don't talk about that too, right?
Right.
They're non-existent. So maybe I have to settle for the ones that just want to have sex with me. Maybe I have to settle for the ones that just want to be agreeable and tell me everything I want to hear, always calling me queen. I let the guy talk to himself in the DM. Let me finally reply. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let me fuck with the nigga that's giving me the most attention. He's not my type, but maybe he got money.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying? She settles. The man, on the other hand, the more he builds himself up, financial, physique, status, looks, takes care of himself, his skin, whatever.
Right, skincare.
Smell good, cologne, all that. Work on his social skills. He becomes more valuable. He becomes more, in a lot of women's minds, he becomes more desirable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That woman, if she doesn't have all those other things, she becomes valuable in the sexual aspect. I could play with it. We could have a lot of fun together. I don't see a future. He might articulate that, he might not, and they might come to an understanding.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So the woman definitely settles more. What would cause a woman to be more dominant and masculine and stray away from submission and femininity?
What would?
Yeah.
There's a few reasons. I think sometimes it'd be her group. Her group will enable
friends, peers.
It will enable that kind of behavior. It might be her upbringing, because her family, her mother or her father, they may not be in good terms, and the way, depending on who she's with, or let's say the way she views how her parents are, she'll look at it like, my mother and dad was never able to make love like forever. You know what I'm saying? They were never able to stay together. So what chances do I have to stay with a man? You know, some girls will have that kind of mindset. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, and that is crazy. But it's like the hope in that kind of dwindles. You know what I'm saying? But it's also not only that, but it's also learned too. Because I just gave a perception of how you would think about it, but it's also through learned behavior. You've seen your mother act a certain way and be like this to whoever she been with, you know? And it's like, that's one of the learned behaviors. The fourth one, I think, is through pain. I think girls went through pain a certain way, and the way they process it. And it kind of goes down to what you said earlier about when girls have to move up. They get more demanding. They get more strict on the people they choose. They get, you feel me? And it's kind of the same way when it comes to pain. When they have to endure and, you know, battle their way, they turn like that. They turn more strict and more
mean.
Yeah, they don't shake or shiver for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't shake for that. So then they start to tap into their masculinity, because no guy is coming in to like, they have it in their mind, they're gonna be the one that's holding this up forever. You know what I'm saying? No guy's gonna come save them, you know? And then, like, because they have to see it that way, they start to feel like, you know.
I think it's so interesting.
Hold on.
Yeah. Another thing is that, like, I think it's a spiteful thing. Like, I think because, like, girls will look at guys and like, nowadays it's like girls look at being a guy as a trophy, as something to carry on your back, you know, like. But then it's like, with some of the girls that are older that went through that, they could tell you, but probably won't, because the pride, and you would have to give up certain things having to tell that truth to people that, you know, it is hard at the end of that, just to be tough and be that warrior for vulnerable. Not only you, but and it takes a good amount of vulnerability for me, because now when you have to admit that kind of truth, you have to erase everything you did and everyone you influenced behind that idea, behind that movement. So that's like how many songs? That's like 5.
Yeah,
you know, 5 reasons right
now. You on a roll.
I'm proud of you.
It's so many avenues that it grows in. You know,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. You feel me?
Thank you. His answers are good.
I'm really locked in on this answer.
Elevated compared to the last show.
Tremendous.
But even though we were talking about, you know, just your entrepreneurship.
I find it interesting. I do agree with a lot of what you say. And actually, a lot of the stuff I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So, but I find it interesting. I'm going to attribute that to like your age range. Right, because my first answer was having to be a single parent. You know, that was my first answer.
Right.
But I do, you know, piggyback off of the stuff that you have said, and I think that it does it. Their like you said, their upbringing and all that stuff, what they were exposed to.
Right.
You know, especially if it's in an earlier, you know, as a child growing up, you know, that is learned. That, and when you see it constantly, you think that that's the right way to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, I just thought that was so interesting how, you know, your perception of it, while on point, was straight, like, and mine went to a whole different, you know, it was the same thing, but two totally different perspectives.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was one more. I got it now. It's also society. There you go. Got it.
Yo, I got it. See, the thing is,
I almost lost it. I'm like, let me get that.
The thing is, I'm not even gonna say a lot, because he said what I was going to say. The only thing I'm gonna say that you left out, well, you didn't left out, because pain can be different forms.
Right.
I was going to talk about like sexual abuse. I was going to talk about, yes, you get that pain from trusting the wrong person. So you can't you can't trust it. Like, why would I want to be submissive here? Let me get a guy on my level.
Right.
Because if I'm making decisions in my day-to-day, why not be equal in my dynamic?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's trauma. Society. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, you said everything great.
Society, like social media plays a
Mhm.
huge role. Like, bro, it never used to be this crazy. I promise you, it never.
Yeah.
I don't remember how, you feel me? I don't remember how masculine it used to be back then, because like it never used to show like this transparently, like to the point that they're
Like in
doing it
front of your
with the
face.
you know, like
Used to be
they'll
more
say, you
behind
feel me?
closed doors.
Right. Like some people would have like pride. Like I remember, like, you feel me? Girls would have this kind of pride that they would not say how much, like they would not be the type to just have these
Boast.
many body counts and all these
Or
things. They would
boast
never,
about money.
right? They would never boast about that, or and shit in that nature. You know, like they would have this kind of pride that, you know, oh, I'm a like elegant girl, like
I'm nurturing.
right.
I'm
Or
maternal.
Right. It
feminine.
used to be back then like that, and it's like you could kind of see it through her behavior and the way she act. Now it's like it's more like modelized. It's like they make feminism the model. Like you girls are the example of what it will look like for whoever made this agenda of, you know, masculinity. This is what it would look like if a girl acted like a guy. You feel me? And it's like they I'm not gonna lie,
Those
whoever
books.
pushed that agenda kind of got ya, because it's like, okay, the separation is working in my favor
Those
to get
those books too. Sorry,
go ahead.
those books
Mhm.
too. And movies.
Mm-hmm.
Think, what is it? Think
Definitely.
like a man. Something like that.
But
Mhm.
act like a woman.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Those books, those films. You know, I've talked about this in prior shows. All that mechanical engineered stuff is what's gonna absorb into our subconscious. And if you're weak minded, it's like you know, like fucking robots. Like you have a barcode on your
I
forehead,
get you.
and
Mhm.
they scan the barcode through the computer, through the laptop, through the cell phone.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And you get influenced quick.
Right.
So
Whether it's conscious or subconscious.
mhm.
Hey yo. Oh yeah. Yo. Here's another thing, yo. What I said earlier about how the masculinity, like it could enter your subconscious, like things that you're not really aware of. Because remember, like we're humans, we're receptive. Energy comes and goes. So because of that, you've been watching Jada Smith, Will Smith, Christina Rock, Blueface. You've seen how all that moves. Like it's glorified to be more like a masculine woman, and just leave guys all behind and just do it for yourself, because it empowers you to feel like you can do it on your own. Like just through words alone, like you are a strong woman. This for me, it's enough powering that it could get you to believe that this
You're
is
more than
what it is. This is
Mhm.
who I am. This is what I'm destined to be.
Yeah.
It sounds so great of a calling that it's like you would not see what it is for real. Like I guess you have to know yourself for real.
Yeah.
Like know where you stand
Definitely.
in this life for you to understand, like this is not my calling. This is not
Mhm.
what I'm meant to do. Like
The Houdini.
Mhm.
The Houdini who dangles the object like back and forth and is hypnotizing you.
Right.
You know, and now you're brainwashed. You think your answers still stay the same, Sue and Markson, for the man part? Like, what makes a man more feminine and stray away from masculinity and dominance?
What makes it more feminine and stray away? Oh, that's okay. Hold on. What makes a man? You want me to answer it, or okay? Because what
it's
makes
different.
a man? Okay. What makes a man more feminine? I think it's usually him staying out of touch of his masculinity, if that makes sense. Like
How is he doing
like
that?
how it's like some people. I ain't gonna lie. There's some people that actually don't have parents, like full-fledged parents that don't fall into the frame of a full masculine man, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like some people don't have that figure to understand like what it is to be a man. Like to be a man. Some people have to understand that or grow through that by themselves. You see what I'm saying? Like some people have an image, or some people been around people that gives them that, you know, oh, you my
Idea.
older brother kind of feeling, or you the OG, and then you just learn through that. Like, okay, like with life, it's not black and white. There's certain things you gotta do, certain things you gotta stand by, certain things you gotta, you know, you gotta build up to.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to learn through that. I think I think some people that fall away from the masculinity, I think is an abuse that happened. Like there's cases that it actually
Yeah.
falls under because some abuse happened,
Yeah.
and then it triggers their mind to
Yeah, fucks
rewire
them
and
up.
think to themselves like, this is what happened to me. Who am I after this?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because this just got done to me. Like,
Yep.
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I for real? I can't say that I'm this
Yeah.
because this just happened.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that a man that's raised with without the presence of masculinity, maybe lots of sisters, lots of aunts,
Mm-hmm.
female cousins. I think that does it. As a matter of fact, I know we don't like to name drop, but one of the Black Eyed Peas, I forgot his name. He said he's very feminine, but it's because that's what he was raised with. It doesn't mean that he likes men. He loves women, but he's very in touch with his femininity.
Right.
Like he even said, I'm very feminine. I have a lot of feminine attributes to me, but I love women. Like I don't go that way. I go with the women.
Yeah.
So I think that has to do a lot of it with it too.
Yeah, see, that's one avenue that does happen, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna dismiss that do happen for some people. Like they have this, they
That's all they know.
they're filled with feminine, energy for the most part. But it goes back to like kind of what I said. It's gonna be harder for you to tap back into that, because you're gonna have to learn from zero, from what you know, like what other like. Your basic information or common sense that you have of what masculinity is, that's where it starts for you, and then you have to go there and see what you should do, what you can do, or how to build from that.
I also think that in that
I was gonna say.
I also think that in that dynamic where it's just let's say a mother raising the son because she had a bad relationship with the dad. I feel like a lot of women make the mistake of saying, "I'm gonna raise him different." You know what I mean? Like that is not, as a woman who has a son, I know nothing about what it is to be a man. I don't know. And in doing that, we're raising them to how we want to be treated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's detrimental, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with both of you. Maybe I say something that triggers both of you again to add on or remember. Single mothers. Like Sue was saying, single mothers raising him to be feminine, like you said, how I want to be treated.
Right.
Be a nice guy. Be a nice guy. Treat women. Protect every woman.
Right.
Not just your woman. Protect every woman. Do this. Don't ever do this. Don't ever do that. Don't ever be mean. Don't ever blah blah blah. Don't ever hold a woman accountable. Maybe they don't say it in that context, right? Activities. Certain activities, programming, like you don't do masculine stuff. You don't watch masculine shows and sports. You probably don't get engaged in sports.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things that are predominantly male centric, you don't do. Programming, social media, how we will be held accountable if we are too masculine. Shame comes with that, not being able to connect with the opposite sex. So I'll ask her what type of guy she's into. Do you know that's a feminine question? Do you know that?
Right. Well, to ask a girl like what kind of guy she mess with?
Yeah. Me, I don't give a damn.
I don't really ask that. That's what's crazy. So,
I don't give a damn because I know how women will adjust more than men. And if she's not willing to adjust at a certain period, good luck with your future endeavors. So I'm not going to be that. Most men that ask that want to put on the mask and be that.
They're trying to beat it to the punch. That's why he says.
That's why it's feminine.
Okay.
Because the woman will be actually more collaborative and I'll be whatever you want versus the masculine. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's connecting with women too, like on a sexual as, I'm into spirituality too. What do you do that's spiritual? You trying to just get pussy? You see, so they'll just say whatever. Oh yeah, I'm into BDSM too. I know what a dominant is.
And then he freaking chokes her until she.
You like rappers? Exactly. Because it's like giving the first time kid driver a high supercar, a Lamborghini. Good luck. Take care. It's gonna mishandle it. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that's making them stray away from it. Public shame. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to go against women's opinions. Stop. You're a misogynist if you do that.
Yep.
Even if it's true, chill.
It limits you. It limits you. It limits you.
I was watching Fast 10. I saw this when it first came out. I don't know his name. Maybe you do, Sue. You're a movie buff. You know all these names.
I do. Go.
Aquaman. What's his name?
Jason Momoa.
What happened?
I said who? I said who? No.
You never seen Aquaman?
No. I know who you talk about.
I'm trying to figure out who the
Jason
name. Yeah.
Momoa.
Okay.
She got it.
So
Thank you.
watching Fast 10, right? He was, I think, one of the best villains of the saga through all the sagas.
He was
I think yes, he was the joke. He was the Heath Ledger. He was the Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. 2008, Dark Knight, Batman, Joker, because that was the best Joker in my opinion.
Yeah.
So he was equivalent to that. He was the best villain in this. He was talking to a couple of dead guys. He had his because he has long hair. He had his buns on. He had like 3 or 4 buns, painted nails, and he was like, you know, that guys, and they're dead. So he's just talking to them, making like a comical part.
Right.
You know, guys, we gotta turn the masculinity off. He used those exact words. Why? Where is that coming from? Millions of people watch that, obviously. So you know what they're going to say? He's right. We got to turn the masculinity off because it came from him. The puppet. The puppet.
I got you.
He doesn't have to believe that. He just has to say it and make millions off saying that.
Right. Everybody else is just going to believe.
It's like another mechanism of selling your soul. You see what I'm saying? So these are all of these things play a factor of what men will, you know, retract and regress from that and stray away from it. I want to, but I don't know if she makes all the money. If it's politically correct. You know?
Yeah. It's like when you get on the media and the TV show, you blow up off it. They're gonna tell you they're like, this is what you need to do.
Down.
Turn the masculinity down. It'll profit. It'll give us more benefit. It'll give us more finance on our business. You're right. It'll catapult you to a different level. And it's like, they monetize the masculinity. You feel me? There you go.
It's almost
that's
like
the best way I could. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe it.
They used to tell like artists, if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you know that's going to ruin it, your image. Don't say nothing about that. Keep that a secret.
Yeah. You have anything to add, Sue?
No.
Okay. Do you think, last one, do you think it's easier for a man to find another woman to get her to do the same things the ex was doing? Or is it easier for a woman to find another man to get that man to give her and do what her ex was doing or how he was providing? So when giving you an example, right? Let's say you were dating. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you could find I'm pretty sure for a guy, we could find another woman and get her to over time. You feel me? You're gonna have to work that over time because usually she's gonna be the one to be submissive, right?
Okay.
For me, she's gonna be submissive, and because you're her better or her superior, she's usually gonna be interested in what you would want to do, if that makes sense. And it gives you space to put the idea, put the idea or, you know, mold that. You feel me? And what was the other one?
Or is it easier for a woman to find a man to do that?
A man to do
what her ex was doing or provide the same way?
Okay. I think she has a window for that, right? Like if she's old, like depending on her age and depending on the guy that she gets, right?
So there's more.
It's not that it ain't possible. Yeah, there is factors to that for her. Like, you feel me? She could like get a guy that makes more money than your ex. You could get a guy but where are you? Like, you feel me? Where do you stand to get that? You see what I'm saying? Like, are you this or are you this age? You know, like, do you have? You feel me? Does your option show that this is an opportunity that's available for you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I agree that it's easier for a man to find a woman and get her to do the same thing that his ex was doing. And I think it's because for the same thing that you say, she wants to please him, but also there's that level of competitive. for the woman. Like, oh, hold up, she did that. I'm gonna do it better because I want to be the best that you ever had. I want to be the one that stands out in your mind. That's what I think. That's why I think it's easier for a man and for a woman to find that. She, like you said, she may find someone who has more money or is in a higher status, but it doesn't mean that he's going to provide for her, in any shape or form.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Whereas, the ex did. And I think it's for the same reasons that you said, there's a lot of different factors.
Right.
There is a potential that she can get that, but for the most part, like you guys said, you don't ask a chick, what kind of guys do you date? Because you don't give a fuck.
Or money.
Right, or money. So you don't give a fuck what her ex was doing. You're going to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
I like that. So you made me think because I wasn't even thinking of that aspect. That's an unhealed woman to want to compete with your ex. I would not say all women think like that.
Right.
I would say all women think like that.
I would say that the way is it easier for a man to find another woman to get her to do the same shit, act right, whatever, versus the woman. It's easier for the man because this comes back to nature. That's why I think even if she is feminist, money, status, it comes down to nature. Women just always want to follow. Why do you think a lot of them post their booty cheeks? Because they see the other chicks aren't getting reprimanded. Wait a minute, she's in a relationship? Calling her a girl. Yo, she's in a relationship. This is wild. You could do this? Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it too.
Not all women.
I'm going to do it too. Okay, not all women. But women in general are followers.
Yes.
So whether they're following women, they're going to follow men. They're going to follow a boss, male boss, whatever. They're going to follow. So at the end of the day, if they don't have a man, obviously they're following women. But if they have a man, they want to follow the man. It's just nature for women to follow. That's why it will be easier. If you are a teacher, you look for students. Why? Because the students come to you because they want to learn. The men don't go into women saying, yo, I want to learn everything. Teach me, baby. Teach me. Yeah, they might be a handful, but men don't do that because they take pride in, yo, I'm going this way. You coming or not? Yeah, I'm coming. Wait for me. Wait up. But in a way, it's like women, on the other hand, it goes back to the leadership qualities that they lack. You know what I'm saying? You have those women who are still in positions of power, but they had to adopt a lot of masculine traits to get there. And those are a handful of women that can do that consistently. Butch type. Butch type women that can do that consistently. But eventually, she's going to want to get in her feminine. If she meets a man like me, I don't care how dominant she is. She's definitely going to want to be submissive, or she feels the risk of losing me. So even if she feels like, yo, this ain't in me, she's going to tell me, I will try. Now, take me, for example. She's trying to get me to do all this other shit. So your ex used to cook for you? Now that I know that, I'm definitely not doing that shit. So he did all the cooking? Okay, you gonna do that shit. And what you don't know, you're gonna YouTube.
Right.
I'm gonna make a woman out of you. I promise.
No, I got you.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, man, we had such a great relationship. We went on trips. Guess what? We only doing that once or twice a year. No way.
I got you.
We took trips on. We took pictures on Instagram. I ain't doing none of that shit. He used to buy me bags every month. Guess what? I ain't doing none of that.
Every time I have to hear the ex situation, I'm like, yo, pack that up, put that on the door, because there's no way. Because you don't like to look. You don't like to be like as a man, you don't want to be the you don't want to be the one that be compared, and neither do you care. You really wouldn't care. You're gonna be like, yo, bro, he's your ex because he's your ex for that reason. Hey, this is the reason you with me right now. So
and that's why and that's why I didn't agree with you, Sue, with competitive. Even though I said it was great, and that woman is unhealed. Competitive nature is masculine energy. So me personally, if I knew your ex treated you bad, guess what, baby? I'm gonna treat you like gold. I'm not gonna be like that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm better here.
Right.
I'm better. I'm not gonna be thinking, well, they were in a 4-year relationship. Maybe I gotta learn what he's doing. What? Like you said, there's a reason why he's not here anymore.
Right, exactly.
Or you would have kept running back to him. Because you would have sold some type of substance that was valuable.
Right.
So to me, I'm looking at it like, it will be a lot easier for a woman to listen. I want this. I like this type of women. Da 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 da. Oh, I love you. Da da da. I want to build with you. I don't want to lose you. I see you're worth it. I will try at least. The man, on the other hand, is gonna be like, damn, you told me he used to do this and he used to do that. He used to dominate you in bed. Nah, I like women to take initiative. I don't like to dominate. I like to relax and be laid back. Can you do that? And the chick is just like, or she just says bye. But then these, okay. I'll do it.
You fold it.
But then it's his feminine energy. It's beta. It's feminine energy. But if he's really in his masculine, he's stubborn.
You stand on it.
He's stubborn,
You
bro.
stand on it.
So if you talking about, oh man, your ex did this and you came all over the place, I don't care. I'm gonna show you how I do it. Guess what? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, you used to do he used to do all the cooking. I ain't gonna do none of that shit.
Right.
Because I'm mowing the lawn. I'm fixing that heavy object. I'm getting the drill and putting it. I'm not letting you have the drill in your hand. I'm picking up the heavy stuff.
Right.
You're doing new things to her.
Yeah. I'm doing the man things too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So in a way, like, it's always easier to get the woman to adjust because it comes down to the follower genes versus the leadership genes. You know what I'm saying? Even though men are straying away from the leadership concept, we're born
to be that.
Dominate.
Right.
We're born to be that by nature. So I'm going to say my final thoughts quick and then everybody else could go. Okay. The solution to the problem, because this is a problem, as options change when we get older, your options shouldn't change. You should still like what you like since you were 25 to 50. The solution to the problem with this stuff is we got to get back into our DNA. We got to get back into our nature. That's what it comes down to. Because we do get back into our nature anyways due to all these other things that occur.
Right.
Disaster, public disaster, stress, hours of work, whatever. Fulfilling of scarcity mindset, getting in survival mode.
It naturally comes back. Yeah.
It naturally comes back. So it's like we just got to get back into our nature, fight all these outward distractions, and then love each other and connect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel. We got to get back into like spirituality.
I feel like naturally it'll just come back. It's just that there's so much things that's working on a regular to fight against that every day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And like I'm saying, if you're in spirituality, right, you will combat those things. You can have certain setbacks, but you help yourself to get back on track. Or you follow other people that's doing it. Remember when I say like you want to be a lion, you got to train with lions?
Like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right.
Same journeys and stuff.
Definitely.
So those are my final thoughts. Does a person's options change when they get to a certain age? It might, but if it does, it's a problem. So if women are now, the bad boys ran through me, now I want a good guy, that's fictitious. She's lying. It's very hard to just flip it off just like that. Wait a minute. Your longest relationships was with the beta males. You get an alpha now. You think you're going to know how to treat me right? You got to be willing to put in the time and patience because you're used to beta. You know what beta is?
A man that doesn't really have a backbone to he'll just take anything.
Extremely high feminine energy with the opposite sex. Particularly men. So if you are used to being there in the control aspect in that, and you just had one alpha, and it wasn't like your longest was with betas, that's what you're used to. And you get into a certain point where you're like, I'm tired of this. That's why you think you want the alphas. Right. You got to unlearn and relearn.
Right.
You got to recognize, I was the most present with the alpha. Let me put it in. Let me put this work in. Let me invest. I wasn't with the betas. I did everything. My nervous system was actually up constantly when I was with the betas, the weaker guys.
Right.
Now I don't have to worry about a lot of shit. He takes care of me, provides security, stability, emotional, psychological, sexual.
Right.
Financial.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Like for the first time, she finally got what she wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, That's why it'll just naturally, like, she'll naturally go back to a feminine, like it's like night and day. It may take a little time, but
Like a
she can
switch.
turn right back.
Yes.
She can turn right back. That's the
Yes.
whole point of it.
And that's what I'm saying,
Mhm.
because she's so used to it. If
Mhm.
the alpha or the dominant man doesn't work out, maybe the traditional guy, she goes back to what she knows.
The
Because
beta.
she's like, I was there long.
Mhm.
She goes back to the beta, wants control.
Mhm.
So
Well, it's also, you know, the saying, you go back to the devil that you know.
yeah.
Mm,
So so it's easier for a man, because how women will naturally be, even if they try to fight it, it's energy. I walk into the room, I have a lot of potent energy. I can make women sitting next to me literally hot. I can walk into a room and there two girls are talking amongst themselves. They get chills. They don't know where it came from. My
Mhm.
pheromones, a different spirit in me. Now they're submissive and they don't even realize why. It's just instinctive. They're getting back into their feminine nature because a
Right.
real man stepped into the room. You ever heard that saying? Everybody's a gangster until a real gangster walks into the room.
Right.
Everybody, dogs think they're alpha until they meet a wolf.
Right. Until you meet the real deal. Mm-hmm. And then that's when it's tested there.
So if a man is confident in leadership, the woman now feels, oh shit, I'm at ease here. I will naturally get in my state. If it's the woman who's more in the leadership role and stuff of that nature, and the man is suppressing that, it doesn't work. She won't get him to stop. I told you stop cheating. You kept lying. This is the third time you did it. Why won't you listen to me? Calls her friends and talks shit. Says the same thing. Why won't he listen? He keeps saying that things will change. Why? If you put a certain standard with a certain woman, listen, stop doing that. I don't like that. Not cheating, but just a bad habit. You chew with your mouth open. You never had a man to hold you accountable? Stop it. You're not in the barn. You're not a horse. Stop doing that. I don't like it. Okay, I'll work on it. Because she knows there's also consequences. Remember, he feels himself being superior. If he doesn't, he thinks it's equal or feminine, and he won't. He'll just let it rock.
Right.
You know, so it's easier because women just naturally follow authority. They love power. When power and authority is present, they revert back to what they know. It's like the lioness. And then the alpha dominant is there and it turns back into a little kitten.
So what do you
I
think?
get you.
What's your final thoughts on this?
Yeah, for the most part, I think it's true. I don't think there's
Person option
anything.
change.
Yeah.
I agree. I do think though that people themselves, well, not all people, but people who have done, you know, work on themselves and all that, their perspectives change. You know what I mean? Like their what they once thought was exciting or fun, you know, depending on what traumas they have or what they had to work through, their the way they see things change. And so I don't always agree that if your options change, that it's bad, that it should be, because a younger girl could have liked, you know, that thug or whatever, and then she, you know, whatever, has something she has to work through, and now her whole view on how that person is changes. And so if she wants to go, and I know we had this conversation, you know, in another show, but I'm not talking about, you know, going with a good guy. Just she might just her taste in things can change. And same thing with a guy. It's only, I think, if they do, you know, like that inner work that they need to do.
It's the Destiny's Child track, Soldier. A rude boy that's good to me with street credibility. Women would like pray for that. But at the end of the day, the thug always stays in her. So that, I believe, is false. It does not leave because it's peanut butter and jelly. It's nothing in between. It's peanut butter or jelly. It's vanilla or chocolate. It's not like a whole bunch of, you know, Sunday. What do they call it? Sunday
Banana
split. It's not all that. It's either vanilla or it's chocolate. It's either peanut butter or it's jelly.
Right.
So the thing is, if the woman always fuck with the thugs, all she's gonna pray for is the rude boy that's good to me, because she still wants that. Why? There are qualities in the thug that made her be present in that dynamic, even if people are looking at it on a toxic aspect. So the thing is, if the dude only fucked with hoes and sluts all his life, then he's like, you know what? Now I'm just tired of these bitches playing me, doing this, doing that, being loud, not being submissive, da 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 da, right? Cheating, whatever. I'm catching them cheating. I want a good girl. I want a woman that's gonna value me. I want a woman that's gonna be submissive or whatever. No way. He's not gonna be able to handle peace too long. He's gonna try to bring out like yo, why don't you throw shit at me? Like the hoes was doing. He might not say it specifically what the hoes was doing, but it's because of human nature. Like you said earlier, we're humans. Those special individuals fight it. But we're used to something for so long. Damn, why is she so good? You and I are talking, and I'm talking to you about my girl. Yo, why is she so good, bro? Like I just wish. I think it's suspect. When's the ball gonna drop?
Yeah, you for me. At some point, it gets like, yo, she just do all, like
All
I get it.
She just does all the right things because he's used to a lot of women doing all the wrong shit, and he was present in there for so long. So the reality is, does a person's options change after a certain age? They definitely do, and they definitely don't, depending on the man. But I definitely think it changes because when we look at society, we always hear it.
Yeah.
Especially with women. I feel like men can stay the way they are till they're 25 to 50. I want to build a family. You might not want that now, but eventually you do. Now, a woman's 25, she never gets there. Now she's 30, 35, 40. At some point, she might just be like, fuck that. I want the bag. Who changed?
Right.
Who changed? She's striving for the bag. Now her options definitely change. You know why? She's stepping over the alpha dominant or traditional guys. She don't even see them anymore. Those guys she can't even attract. She's attracting the betas. She's attracting the guys. Well, so what is your 5-year plan on the date? Yo, that's a little aggressive, baby.
Okay.
We just met each other. We just met each other. I mean, like, where do you want to go though? But we just met each other though. Like, do you want a girlfriend, marriage, and stuff? I mean, I'm just going with the flow.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I see how that goes. I see how that goes about. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now she's in a position where it's like, yo, she's settling. Her options are changing. If she's going out on dates and engaging with them. But if she's not, like I said, then her options, she don't even have options. Because I want a specific type of man. And if I can't get that, I'm going to be single for a while until he comes. I'm going to pray to God. Even if I got to wait 2 years, I ain't going to be dating in between. I'll be celibate for 2 years. If that guy doesn't meet that criteria, I meet him in a supermarket, dating apps, social media, and he don't answer these questions right about a certain lifestyle or what I want. Bye. Don't even waste time. It was nice to meet you. Thank you for messaging me.
After that, that's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if she's just lonely and desperate, oh, okay, let me just give in. She might eventually so that's submitting. She might eventually submit
She'll comply
to any
to it.
dude.
She'll comply, yeah.
She's gonna be compliant. Any dude. So it's like men, the more they elevate themselves, the more the more options they're gonna have. Especially in the relationship aspect because they control relationship and commitment.
Right.
Women, on the other hand, don't control relationship and commitment, but only access to sex and whether they want to bring another life on earth or not.
Right.
So if men get the ring, girlfriend, whatever it is, what we're doing, and she knows she's not doing that, she might manipulate to get the ring and stuff of that nature. At the end of the day, the man can always choose. The woman can say, well, we go together. She's into him. The man can say, we go together. You belong to me. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the guy gonna go with it. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Go
So at the end of the day, like he has more options the more he elevates himself to get to that level up status. You know what I'm saying? The woman levels up in a sense of in her masculinity, she doesn't. But she can always level up. You know how?
How?
In her femininity. And if she elevates more in her femininity, she's gonna.
You should have answered that one.
Yeah, I know. I kind of saw it. I wanted to know, like, was it gonna be something? Yeah. Was it gonna be a different answer? Yeah.
If she elevates more in her femininity due to polarity, right, and so, science and biology, physics, energy, she's gonna radiate that, and that's gonna, wait a minute, there's a different smell in the air. Ooh, who does she look like? And then you're gravitating towards her.
Mhm.
She's in her femininity, but you don't know. You're
You
subconscious.
don't know, but it's an attraction
Mm-hmm.
that's pulling you in. Mhm.
Energy, you could tell the strong women. They walk a certain way. Maybe they walk like this. They walk a
Right.
certain way. They got their nose in the air. Probably they really flamboyant. They
Mhm.
show off a lot online and stuff. Oh,
Right.
that's masculine. The
Yes.
feminine is a
Mhm.
little bit more. She'll be shy to look at you in your eyes.
Mhm.
The feminine is a little bit more, you know,
Right.
soft spoken. She's not gonna
Right.
raise her voice.
Right.
So due to energy, we could feel this.
It's like more nurturing,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what it comes down to. Both can level up, but if you into masculine guys, it's no brainer. You should level up in your femininity.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you're into feminine women, level up in your masculinity.
Right.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned into one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real podcasts, the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Peace.